Greetings, Star Trek Fleet Commanders. I am the Angry Rhino. Now, if you've seen some of my videos, at least some of the more recent ones, you know I'm not a big fan of the latest arc, Assimilated Part 1. Now, I think what the other content creators like to do around this time is to give the arc a final grade. Well, I'm not going to do that for two reasons. One, there's several of them already doing it, so it doesn't really make sense for me to do it. Too much, anyway. The second one is I hated it. I think this arc was terrible. So why give grades like A, B, or C, or D? At least in my opinion. So I'm just going to go over a few areas of the arc and tell you why I hated them. We're going to start with the features. We're going to start with the Borg, however you want to call it, the Borg Solar Armada feature or the Borg revamp. We'll call it that. Now, for several years, we as the player community have been asking for a way in specifically to decrease the grind time for Borg. Yes, overall we want less of a grind time. It's not necessarily about grinding out hostiles or reputation or this kind of loot or that kind of loot. It's really how long it takes. But with this revamp, I don't see how it saves anybody time. Right? I mean, I got a few notes written down. Many of us were just doing one Borg run because you could get more than 500,000 probes, do your refines, get you some faction credit, get you some active nano probes, get you some independent credit, and that was it. Well, now, because of how much they want, how many charged nano probes they want to charge you for these new Borg Solar Armada directives, you really have to do two runs or you give up faction and independent credits. No, that's not okay. If you want to do that, then by all means, go for it. I disagree. Without faction credit, how are you going to get the ships to do these armadas? Can you really rely solely on your dailies and the away team store? Or not necessarily the away team store, but away teams? You can possibly, but you still want to maximize your faction credit. So you can't just give that up for a few directives. So you have to do two runs. And maybe you can make an argument that instead of one run taking between 15 and 20 minutes, it now takes 7 to 10 minutes. Well, you still got to fly out there. Yes, you can use your discovery, but you can use your discovery. I mean, if you do it so many times, you're going to run out of disco juice. But it's not that hard to get. But it still takes time. So it doesn't decrease the grind time. If anything, it's about the same. I still say it increases the grind time because of the armadas. Now, depending on your level, they're either, around the mid-30s faction space or they're way out there in dark space. Well, it takes like 6 minutes to get out there to dark space. I know, rich people problems, right? But still, yes, you can use your discovery. Then you can disco all the ships out there. But what happens if all your ships don't die? What do? You go out there for one armada. You bring your 3 ships. You summon them out there. You do one armada. Then all your ships finish that armada with, like, say, a quarter hull. Well, what do? Disco them home too? Because there's no hostiles out there, last I checked anyway. So, what? Disco juice to get home? Or fly back? So time. Takes time. No, I'm not okay with you increasing the time for this. I'm not. Partly because I don't see the benefit. The Armada chest rewards for these Borg Solar Armadas, they look nice. Cool. Bunch of officer shards and all that fleet commander currency, which I'll get to next. Still on the Borg shit. So you get all these Borg officers. Cool. Now what? Because you can't upgrade them. Where's the independent credit to upgrade them? Where's the officer XP to upgrade them? Where are the badges to upgrade them? Now hopefully you're still doing your charged Nano Pro refine. Your active Nano Pro refine. So many different probes, it gets all confusing. So what happens when there's multiple currencies? It gets very confusing. You need to charge I did it again. Active nano probes. You need the active nano probes to upgrade these officers. You need the independent credit to upgrade these officers. You know how expensive some of these officers are to upgrade in independent credits? Very expensive. So you didn't improve that. Okay, yes, you gave us more sourcing for the officers. Thank you. But I can't upgrade them. So you might as well have done nothing. Just giving sourcing for the officers isn't enough. So I guess when we demand better officer sourcing, we should really say what exactly we mean, right? We don't just want more officer shards. We want to be able to get our officers at higher tiers, which would include more shards, more badges, more officer XP, more whatever currency else you need to upgrade the officers, because you need so many currencies. And another thing in those chests are all the fleet commander credits. Now I'm making the shift over to the fleet commanders, the other fleet feature here. But it's the same argument. So you get all these credits for these fleet commanders. But how do you upgrade their little research trees? Well, you take your little fleet commander center and you upgrade the fleet commander center, which also has a special currency. Another special currency. But unless you pay for it, it's going to take many days to get it up to the level that you need to do some of these researches. So therefore, you're not really seeing the benefit of this building or these fleet commanders that much. Let me go into where these currencies start. As you can see, quantum communicators there on the right side. That's one. And then you see all this other stuff. Commander XP, Uncommon SP, Rare SP, Spock SP, Kirk SP. I'm not done yet. Locutus SP, Uncommon Fleet Commander credits. Fleet Commander Dust. And there's rare Fleet Commander credits. So what are we at? 10? 10 different currencies tied to these fleet commanders. You're insane. You're absolutely insane. There's no reason for that. The only reason that I can think of, maybe there's two reasons. One, to confuse the shit out of people and anger them so they have to buy stuff. They'll have to buy a pack because they missed this or they missed that, or they want to upgrade this or want to upgrade that. Now, I understand you want to make money. I understand that. You're not doing this for free. I get that. But does it have to be so damn many different currencies for this? The answer is no, it doesn't have to be. You want it to be because for whatever reason you think that if you have 10 different currencies instead of, let's say, 5 different currencies, for some reason you'll make more money off of that. I mean, I guess that's true because then that's like 2 different packs, right? Because you can have maybe even 3 because you got the building pack to get the building currency. Then you got like things to level up a commander, like this commander XP. But then you got like the commander specific credits. So that's like 3 different packs. So you think people will spend $300 on this? Okay. I mean, I'm sure plenty of people did, and that's fine if you enjoy that. But I don't want to have to pay for every single thing in this game to get enjoyment out of it. I just don't. And there's a lot of nice things that would improve the grind time with these fleet commanders, like impulse speed or warp speed, loot drops. But you threw all this behind paywalls. Like, okay. I mean, it's fine. You can do whatever you want. You got to make your money, otherwise the game will shut down. But on the other hand, I didn't like it, so therefore I'm going to say I didn't like it. I'm not going to just be like, oh, it's okay. You can do whatever you like, and I'll be okay with it. However, I mean, at some point I'll just get to the point where I just won't play this game anymore, or I'll probably go through steps to where, it's like, okay, I'm going free to play again because I'm not paying for this shit anymore. I'm just not going to do it. It's like you don't want to give people anything for free anymore. It's like there's got to be a balance. There's got to be some free to play shit and there's got to be some pay shit. Everything can't be behind this paywall or this lengthy grind wall, however you want to call it. I'm very agitated. I mean, I'm very checked out of this event. I mean, this arc. To the point where I missed several events. Well, I guess not missed, didn't participate because I didn't want to. I didn't even get broken Decilian rods this time because between it being too much time to do some of these events and there being too many and me just not liking it. For instance, you had the hostile hunt events under the commander bucket. And you had one for each type of different ship. It's just, come on now. Go kill explorers with an explorer. Go kill interceptors with an explorer. Go kill battleships with an interceptor. I understand that you want to put a little variety in it, but at the same time, we're talking about grind time here. Most everybody, when they do their faction dailies, wants to do survey ships for more rep. Yes, there are also some people that go out and they grind interceptor parts because they're, in the 4-star ship land and they need to refine ship parts. So they'll go out and farm the interceptor parts. Well, if you're going to make them go hit battleships and hit explorers, well, that doesn't exactly get that for them. So then that's another hull they got to use. More time, more and more and more time. So some of the events were okay. I thought the payouts were fairly nice, but at the same time, if it takes me twice as long to do all the events, then I'm not going to like it. Right? Don't forget the fact that there were several scoring issues. So they make all these events and then they don't score properly. Well, and I understand that happens. I mean, I have written some code, very basic knowledge of code writing. Nowhere near an expert or the level for anybody that works on this game. But I do understand that it doesn't always go the way you plan. Of course, lots of things don't always go the way you plan, but I think between the person running the arc, making the events, making the rewards and such, and the person that made the feature, I don't think, to me, they didn't demonstrate. What did I write down? They didn't demonstrate that they know the game or the players. Part of that is how many charged nanoprobes they wanted you to give up for one directive. For me, it was just too high. Just too high. Because then it also makes them go out and grind another hull on their Vidar. Like, who the hell wants to do that? Ugh. And how about the IMS? The Fleet Commander IMS. It's a server-wide milestone for people unlocking Fleet Commanders. Everybody got one Fleet Commander free to play. Then if you bought a second one, that was, you'd like say you picked Kirk and you bought Spock. That was like a few points. But if you bought Locutus, because he was completely pay to play, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But these server milestones weren't getting completed. Like whole servers, many servers didn't finish. What does that tell you? What does that tell you? Tells you people didn't want to buy your commanders. And why was that? Why? So you made this event. Now, normally you would think that you make an event that people are going to complete. Either they're going to grind for it or they're going to pay for it. Well, whole servers didn't complete the event. Well, they didn't want to grind for it. They didn't want to pay for it. Why is that? Why? Some of it goes back to what I was saying about the command center. The currency for the command center itself is either paywall or time gated. So, what am I going to buy another commander for? I can't slot in 2 commanders without paying for level 40 of the command center. What's that? 3 or 4 command center packs? And then you want me to buy another commander? Wow, Jesus. How much money do you want me to spend on just the commanders? Not even like the whole arc in general. The whole 3-week arc. Are you people just stupid or what? Y'all are really just stupid. How much money did you think we were going to spend on this? How much money were you really thinking that we were going to spend on that shit? I'm sure there are several people that spent thousands and thousands of dollars because they have the money and that's what they like to do. But how many players of this game have that kind of money? Yes, many do, but I would say a majority either don't have the money to spend like that or don't want to, right? I mean, you're talking maybe close to $1,000. Set around like one IMS. Yeah, no, dude. Holy shit. And I'm not the only one that thinks like, wait, that was kind of a wrong thing to do by him. So, no, we didn't get a top reward in this milestone that wasn't labeled heroic, as far as I remember. You miscalculated the scoring. It's not that it was coded wrong. You just miscalculated how many people were going to do this event, and like almost nobody did the event. Or finished the event anyway. All right. I mean, I think a lot of us were kind of expecting you to come out and say, "Oh, our bad. We screwed up. Here's the last milestone reward." Didn't do that. Okay. You're talking at least 90% of the servers didn't do it. They didn't complete the server milestone. Okay. I mean, yeah, that tells me you don't know the people that play this game. And you don't understand this game that well because you should have known that the only way to complete that IMS was to have many people spend it. And they're not going to spend on a commander they can't use because of the stupid command center. To spend on the commander and the building. Okay. However, we'll have to see. This is supposed to be a 2-month storyline arc, so we'll see what kind of nonsense they give us next month. Supposedly, they're going to release feature add-ons that will increase the grind efficiency time. However you actually say that. I swear I know the words. Of course, maybe it's just I don't give a shit because I was just completely checked out this whole month almost. So, we got incursions coming up now. Crucible War will probably have whatever. Normal, in between arcs, events. Man, I don't know. When next Tuesday comes around, there better be some good stuff in there. That's all I got to say. So month 1 of Assimilated, it's big fat. You don't even get a letter A. You just terrible. You're terrible. This was terrible. Nah, it's time for me to be hitting the old dusty trail for the day. Go do something else. Probably not even in game, because. However, I'll still keep doing videos. I mean, I'm not gonna stop yet. I'm just I'm just whining, blowing off some steam of how agitated I am with this. Be sure to like and subscribe if you want to keep hearing me whine and bitch about the people running this game. I am the Angry Rhino. Shields up, Commanders.